different concept of God. My biggest problem is deception. My whole life I was deceived into believing that God was a wrathful deity, and therefore I rejected him. But just a simple look at the cross with a right understanding would negate these ideas altogether. And you would have to see a loving deity in what God was prepared to do for those whom he cared for, whom he had created. So the issue of God and the way we see God and the way the theological systems of the world have distorted him. If you look at paganism, for example, had to bring human sacrifices. You had to appease the wrath of this deity. Whereas the Bible is so different. Come unto me, all ye who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. This is a gentle deity. If you look at the great deities out there, and if you look at the stories and the folklore associated with these deities, then there's always the stern side of the deity. For example, in Eastern mythology, you also have the story of the lost son, the prodigal son. But in the Eastern mythology, when this son returns, the father first has to check him out to see whether he's up to scratch, whether he can rectify what he had done wrong. Whereas in the biblical story, the father runs towards this wayward child, embraces him, puts a ring on his finger, a fine cloak around him, the righteousness of God, the righteousness of Christ, and embraces him back into the family. A totally different concept of God. Who is going to set the record straight?